I was done. The words hurt enough. Didn't want to be around anymore. Didn't want to hurt anymore. I was not good enough just to be his.
You would have never known I was dying inside. I was like, I'm the filthiest thing you've ever seen. And I thought, you're on your own, Heather.
My dad had a business in town and we needed to look apart for this happy-go-lucky family, church on Sundays. But in all reality, I lived with a lot of fear. He wasn't like lurking around the corner like a big monster, but it felt like that. My dad would write nasty notes and leave them all over the place, and would go to church and profess his love for God and Jesus. I just came to accept the fact that I was what my dad said I was. It was like, hey, Dad, how'd I do? You did all right. But if you would have done this, 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 and this, it would have been so much better. I couldn't deal with all the pain that I had of just wanting my dad to love me. I just wanted that relationship. Not because of anything that I did, but because I was just his son. If my own father wouldn't love me, couldn't love me, maybe didn't know how to love me, how could anybody else?
My dad never wanted children. My mom was very broken. I was very worried about keeping them happy. How can I make this be okay? I can remember laying beside my dad and him touching me, and it hurt. I remember almost gasping, like, and then I just went away. I was filthy, and I felt so, like, heavy. It wasn't that I wanted to hurt. That's the only relationship I had with my dad. The lady was talking about who Jesus was, that he was willing to trade us all of his good stuff for all of our bad stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, I totally want to do that. If he's willing to do that, I want to do that. And I just remember bowing my head and just going, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I felt this over me, all the way out my fingers and down my legs. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm floating. I've never felt like this before. I felt light. I was a little bit nervous to tell my mom, but I was like, this is really good. Maybe she doesn't know about this. And she said, Heather, you can't do what you have to do to be a Christian. You can never lie again. And she just went on talking, and I just quit listening. I thought, wow, okay, well, if I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna try. I didn't know Jesus loved me. I could get a guy to do anything I wanted him to do. If I brushed up against him, if I showed enough cleavage, if I wore short enough skirt. I just thought, this is how you do it. You have sex with someone, and then they'll love you.
She said that I had kind of a cute smile, and then ended up having a 2 or 3 hour conversation. We dated for 2 years.
He was different. He's like, I just love you. I'm like, I didn't know how to love anybody. I didn't even know what it looked like. But at that point, I just thought, well, if he's not going anywhere, I might as well do this. She started talking to me about Jesus loving me, and I was like, what do you mean he loves me? I don't even know what that means. So she started explaining to me, and I would be like, well, I've had sex with more than 30 men. And she'd go, doesn't matter, he still loves you. And I'm like, she even bat an eyelash. And I thought, oh my gosh, maybe this is real.
I remember what it looked like with my dad, and it's like, I didn't want any part of that. I was so hungry for that male affirmation that I met with these guys as a 21-year-old at 5:30 in the mornings on Wednesdays and 6:30 in the mornings on Sundays, because they would say things to me like, hey, how you doing? You got what it takes, man. You can do this. They weren't impressed by my performance. They weren't impressed by the things that I could do. What impressed them was I was just me. And they loved me just for me. I wanted what they had. And what they had was a relationship with Jesus. And I said, Jesus, I've tried everything else. I need you. I'm gonna give you a shot. Bam, peace. Jesus just loved me for me. It was then that I realized I am his son, and I'm good enough just the way I am.
I'd said to him, where were you when I was being raped? Where were you at? And he showed me. I could see myself, and I looked over and he was on the floor on his knees with his hands clasped, crying with me. And I was like, okay. So people have been teaching me all these things. I've been reading scripture, how, oh, God created the universe and he healed all these people and he did all these amazing things. So why not a little girl in the middle of Iowa? Why couldn't you take care of her? And I started screaming at him, you're a stupid, horrible father. I'm just like railing on him, just, But that moment was where I totally was so real with him that from then on it was like, okay, all right, I can get to know you now. The Lord was so sweet and gentle with me, gently teaching me to trust him, gently teaching us what love even looked like. I always wanted a man to love me. I always wanted to be a mama. He gifted us all of that. So I'm like, my gosh, I have everything I've ever dreamed of.
I wasn't good enough. I was lazy. I was stupid. I wasn't going to amount to anything. And God says, no, you are good enough. Just wait and watch what I'm going to do with you.